I don't know why you've gone there, because I talked about it on my episode yesterday. I was talking about miracles and money. Earlier on, as a young Christian, there was a video going around of a family who prayed, and then money just came in their room and so on. They were being shown that video. They found money all over the place. I was like, this is a hogwash. You know why it's hogwash? Number one, God did not print the money. It has to be legal tender for the government of the day. The government of the day is the one that owns that money. So they have got to go to their Delaru or their bank systems and so on, and they print the money and they serialize the money and they account for that money, all of it. Where did God get it? At what point did God intercept that money? Isn't that stealing from the government?
But I was going to say gold and silver belongs to, but you also said
no.
Give
gold,
to Caesar.
That's where I was going. Gold and silver, they do belong to God, and that's why money was on a gold standard at some point in time. But it is connected to value which God created, which God owns.
The closest I can vouch for miracle money is when Jesus needs to pay tax. Yeah? And Peter comes and Jesus asks him, is it right for us to pay tax? But so that no one will have issues with us. Yeah? He says, go and fish. Go to the lake. Cast your line.
Go and work.
Thank you. That takes us back to husbandry.
Yeah.
Productivity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where money comes from.
That's where money
We'll talk about money another series later.
Kind of gone off the tangent. But we're talking about the miracles of time and productivity and multiplication. That when you get that as a man, you wake up and you ask God, what are you up to today? My hands are here. My mind is here. My purpose is about what are you up to today. When Jesus said, let your will be done on earth as it is in heaven, that's what he was saying. He was saying people need to come to a place where they are not really nagging God about what they think he should do for them, but they come in humility and say, God, I am here. What are you up to? Who needs a hug? I'll go and hug them. Who needs bread? I'll feed them. Which widow needs taking care of? I will take care of. Do you get it? This is now the mandate to show up for God. Oh my God. I'm just excited about the concept of co-creation because it allows us to show up for God. But the problem is we are in a situation where we're waiting for God to show up for us. We forget that He's actually waiting on us to show up for Him because we are the containers of Him. That when the solution turns up, and I thank God for this, that when I turn up anywhere, the lights will always come on. I've experienced that. And most recently, I was hanging out with a group of friends in my musical circles. And one time they were talking trash, as you can imagine. But I said, I made a prayer and I said, God, I don't know how to be here and tolerate this conversation, but I'm not going to hijack it. But I'm asking that Holy Spirit, you take over. I'm giving you my tongue.
I'm here.
And I came back from the bathroom and the conversations continued. But I'll tell you something. At the end of that conversation, about 3 hours later, this was a guy's confession. Oh my God, can you imagine we talked about God for 3 hours in a bar? And one of them was like, I've not been to church in 3 years, but I needed this conversation. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you understand that God has given you the opportunity to turn up, you wake up and you say, what are we doing? We're recording a podcast, let's do this. Yeah, we are blessing someone, let's do that. And then religion changes, because now God is everywhere that a man is.
Man was created in the image and in the likeness of God at the end of the day.
Okay, so when God was looking for a mirror, he said, Lawrence.
Or when the lion sees Adam, he says, for a minute I thought that was God. Right? It's Adam.
And then you see, therefore, that if the man has captured this essence and the image and the nature and the character of God, I'm a walking container of God. Just be excited by that concept, and you don't have to be Christian to be a container of God. You don't have to be a Christian to be the hands of God. You just have to be a man.
You know, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, if you dissect the why or the mandate of a man from what we've been discussing and going back to the creation and so on, you'll find one thing.
What's that?
You find that it is not about selfishness. And the problem is that sometimes in our world, we want to define a man using the accolades of selfishness, what he has rather than what he gives. You understand? So you're giving us the definition of a man, or the why, or the mandate of a man, enables us to see that the first thing, if I understand myself as a man, whether I am 14, whether I am 13, as a male man, if I understand myself, it is to be there for other people. Which means, there's a process, of course, which means I have to build myself up in capacity to such a degree that I am always there for other people. But I have enough, the seed that is inside of me, and the seed is both physical and metaphorical. Seeds can be the sperm, it can be ideas,
words,
it can be words, it can be time. And when you go to creation, you can never exhaust the story of creation, because every possibility that was available in creation was in the form of a seed.
That's why I told you that in your boxers,
there are skyscrapers there. There are helicopters and so on.
There are labs.
There are things that we haven't seen, the technology that has not even yet come.
It's in the seed.
But they are in the seeds. But what releases us to understand the mandate of a man is his relationship with the environment and other people. So if you're looking at yourself as a man, a solid Jamal, don't define yourself and your purpose and your mandate from what you gain out of this world.
Strange as it is, it's what you gain.
It is what you do to make this world a better place, to transform this world. And it varies in degrees, by the way. It is not about who is in the middle class, who is in the whatever, upper echelons of society. The bottom line is, who is it that transforms? Who is it that contributes? Who is it that impacts?
I like to think about life in its simplest form. Let's talk about Bushmen. Let's talk about the Xhosa, the Khoisan, the Batwa, the Pygmies. Those people who we call uncivilized. Those people who are living by running after
a rabbit
or a wild rat, living lives that you cannot, contemplate in your mind. But when you look at those people and you find that those men have self-worth that a man driving a G-Class
cannot even begin.
Their wives are walking around, just swaying in the air. Their children are walking around naked. Yeah.
Oh, they are protruding nice stomachs, well fed.
You know, and their dogs are there wagging their tails happily in the jungles. And when you get that man and put him next to a CEO, the CEO will despise this little man because the CEO despises himself, because somehow there's something about him that he feels with all this he still needs to get.
Oh.
But this pygmy actually feels sorry for this man because he sees him suffocating in that tie, drowning in debt, trying to please. Yeah, to please. But this man lives off the earth. He lives off, this pygmy is living off the bush, eating just enough, but making sure everything he eats, he grows, he plants, he multiplies. When he's out there hunting, if you remember the movie Gods Must Be Crazy, where Chico lost his children, and he went across the world looking for his children. And I remember when
they met,
and that joy, and the kids just jumping on him. I want you to think about this, because Jesus, same thing happened. Yeah, his parents lost him. Then they found him and they rebuked him. If Ethan pulled a prank like that, when you meet him, you're gonna give him a rebuking, a beating, you know, because you're thinking, how could you put me through this? But when this guy met his kids, all he cared about
was the kids.
I've seen my kids. Yeah. And he didn't rebuke them. He instead asked them, tell me,
laughing, like hugging each other.
And they told him what they'd seen, what they'd gone through. I'm just bringing this to show a man who is in contact with his mandate as a producer, as a procreator, as a protector, but above all, as a lover. That if a man's mandate is driven by love, oh, what a powerful thing that is. And that is why at the end of it all, it is who we loved and who loved us.
Begins from there.
And what we gave, that adds up to our legacy. And when you think about our legacy is the production of our time in the answer to the question of our mandate. What were we put here
to do?
And I say to people that why should heaven wait for you? Why should heaven give you time? People are dying right, left and center. Why not you? Do you have...
Why have you been protected all these years?
For what?
Kept safe. For what purpose?
You get. And find that out and go about doing it. And you don't have to, but I encourage you to sign up for Coach Lawrence's Purpose class. But even before you do that, just do the simple thing of waking up in the morning and say, God, I'm here. What are you up to? Who needs to see you
through me?
Who needs to meet you? And I go. Yeah. And you'll be amazed that it might not be a crusade that he's sending you to. He's just saying, God, listen. He's just saying, there will be a street kid who come to your window. There will be someone you should call. Or maybe you should go visit a prison and spend time with people who have no time. This for me is true religion, to take care of the people who have no men, to take care of them. Yeah, that is the mandate.
So even as we come to a close of today's episode, we're going to continue talking about the mandate of a man in this series, and maybe we might be having some visitors, and probably when we do have some guests, we might go on a tangent and talk about something else. But this is a new series that we began, and the summary of it all is this: religion, men. You can actually say men or manhood equals to religion. If you've listened to this episode, you will know where we've derived that from, and it's that powerful. And it means this:
If
that
religion is man's
Yeah.
way